Good evening, wonderful people of Biafra all over the world. Good evening to you, viewers across the world. If this is your first time of joining us on BTV, you are welcome to Biafra Television Europe. I am Jovista Chichi. Tonight, we shall be looking at some news headlines, and also we shall be looking at today's Independence Day, the 64th birthday of Nigeria. After these few news headlines, I will now take a press release before we come back to talk about today's 64th birthday of Nigeria. IPOB vows to resist alleged plans by Nigerian government to open rehabilitation camps for repentant Boko Haram terrorists in Imo State. That was coming from Sahara Reporters. Senator representing Okigwe Zone has accused TVC News of plan to set him in collision with IPOB by using Fulani images. Arise News. Imo refused claim of new IDP camp established by federal government. The Imo state government on Monday debunked speculations the federal government has established an internal displaced persons camp in Ehime Mbano local government area of Imo State. IPOB bans independence celebration in the Southeast. Punch News. Now let's take IPOB press statement, but we are going to take it the way it is stated in Punch. IPOB bans Independence Day celebration in the Southeast. The indigenous people of Biafra has banned the celebration of Nigeria's 64th Independence Day in the Southeast region. In a statement on Monday, the separatist group declared that anyone found participating in any activity marking this year's Independence Day would be considered an enemy of the land. It said Igbo should go about their normal business or remain in their houses if they choose to, but must refrain from any form of activities to mark Nigeria's independence. The group insisted that though Igbo were part of the struggle for Nigeria's independence, the union had proven injurious to them. The Directors of States of the Global Family and Movement of the Indigenous People of Biafra wishes to remind IPOB Biafrans have decided to reject the bloody flag independence of Nigeria and work for the restoration of a truly united and prosperous independent state of Biafra. Therefore, every Biafran should reject this Nigerian forced unity as we look forward to celebrating Biafran's independence soon. Ndị Igbo must adhere to this clarion call to halt every activity concerning Nigeria's independence. There shall be no flying of Nigerian flags in Biafra territory. There shall be no independence activity for students in Biafra land. Everyone should go about their businesses or use the day for quality family time and rest at home for those who choose not to go to work or engage in business activities. IPOB is not joking about the restoration of Biafra's freedom and sovereignty. Do not make yourself an enemy of the struggle by participating in Nigeria's flag independence celebrations. Parents and guardians must not allow their children to attend any Nigerian independence activities. We are monitoring everywhere in Biafra land. As an Igbo parent, do not allow your children to be sacrificed for a country that considers them less than human. This was taken from Punch newspaper. I am still Jovista Chichi. Like I said earlier, that we want to be looking at today's Nigeria independence. I would have preferred to make this tonight a briefing, an interactive section for Biafrans to tell us how they feel or what they observe about the zoo Independence Day celebration. But because we have very little time to spend, I'm thinking I will just run it for few minutes. Today, that Nigeria has celebrated her 64th independence. What exactly has Nigeria celebrated? Did we observe that people globally did not share in the celebration of Nigeria independence? Because nobody felt it that there is a celebration, because there was nothing to celebrate. We did not witness people calling for parties globally, people sharing greetings, showing that they are celebrating. Nigerians are mourning, and they mourned instead of celebrating independence. Today, Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he made the Independence Day speech. And in his speech, what exactly did he address in his speech today? What exactly did he address? President Tinubu made a speech. Let us take some of his speech. Let's take some of his words, the way he said them. We just take few and then we analyze them. In his speech today, President Tinubu said, since independence, our nation has survived many crises and upheavals that led to the dissolution and disintegration of many other nations worldwide. 6 years after independence, our country descended into a political crisis that led to a bitter and avoidable civil war. Since returning from the brink of the darkest moments, we have learned to embrace our diversity and manage our differences better as we continue to work towards engendering a more perfect union. That Nigerians have embraced diversity and that have also learned to manage their differences. Now, as a Nigerian, do you think that Mr. President is telling himself the truth? Not just Nigerians, because Nigerians know that what all his speech that he made today were all fallacy. Nigerians, they know that. Nigeria has never in any way embraced diversity because all the problems that emanate in Nigeria are all attributed to ethnic diversity. Yes, Nigeria is facing so many challenges, challenges like insecurity, challenges like poverty, challenges like no social amenities, corruption, and all the rest. But the biggest challenge that every Nigerian know that the biggest challenge to Nigeria today is poor development and management, poor development. And all this is attributed to ethnic diversity. Overpopulation is attributed to ethnic diversity. This is the biggest challenge that Nigeria is experiencing today. But Mr. President was telling himself, because already the world knew that he was lying to himself, that Nigerians has embraced diversity. In what way has Nigerians embraced diversity? Mr. President know that diversity is not even an exclusive preserve of Nigerian states. He knew. Instead, ethnic diversity has contributed largely to the problems of Nigeria, a country that has more than 250 different languages. People that do not have the same core value. We are not talking about believer and religion, but core value. How then, in the face of this selective injustice, that Mr. President is telling the world that Nigeria has embraced diversity? Have you embraced diversity and Omoyele Sowore is free from prison? Sunday Igboho is free from prison. All the followers of Sunday Igbo, they are free. Boko Haram, that is ransacking the northern villages, are being every day repatriated into Nigerian army. They are being integrated into the society on daily basis. But the man, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for the sake of being an Igbo man, is still in illegal detention. Even when the past administration says that he will not interfere in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu except he gets justice from the courts. And now the Supreme Court has done the justice. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been discharged and acquitted. Even the president told us today that judiciary is independent. Judiciary is independent. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has been discharged and acquitted by the judiciary, is being staying execution by the executive. And the executive today was telling Nigerians that judiciary is independent. How is judiciary independent? If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has come from the north or south, he wouldn't have been in illegal detention till now. Even that today is October 1st, Mr. President could not even pardon Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. After judiciary has discharged and acquitted an innocent man who committed no crime known to law, Mr. President was telling us that Nigeria has embraced diversity. Fallacy from Mr. President. Mr. President also said that it was after the bitter civil war. Even the Nigerian journalists and the press, they know that that was never Nigerian Biafran civil war. It was just a genocide that was carried out on the people of Igbo ethnic nationality. Nigeria has never embraced diversity. Nigeria has never learned to manage her differences. If Nigeria has learned to manage her differences, there will be no selective justice. The Igbos would have been given a meaningful ministerial appointment. Igbos are not given any meaningful appointments. Instead, what they do is to use them to eliminate their own people. Accepting the diversity and managing our differences is using Hope Uzodinma to bring repentant Boko Haram to the southeast, using him with the senator that is representing the Imo North, using them to bring down the Fulanis to the southeast, claiming they are coming for skill acquisition, whatever. You are bringing down internally displaced persons. That is what we have learned to manage by using Hope Uzodinma. But loan was granted to students. Student loan. It didn't go to any eastern state until people raised alarm. It was 1 month because the loan was distributed in August. But it was by September that very few, I don't even know if those people have received. Though they claim they published some few schools that later received. And Mr. President is telling us that we are managing, or we have learned from what would the war that would have been averted. Mr. President, what Mr. President is doing today, what he's doing, is it not the same thing that caused that bitter war that he said today that that war would have been avoided? Why is Mr. President not working towards avoiding the repetition of the history? Why is Mr. President waiting for the history to repeat itself? If Mr. President believed that truly Nigerians learned from what caused them the murdering of 6.5 million people, why is he not working towards it? Mr. President, in your speech today, you also spoke on the side of security, and you said, on the security front, I am happy to announce to you, my compatriots, that our administration is winning the war on terror and banditry. Our target is to eliminate all the threats of Boko Haram, banditry, kidnapping for ransom, and the scourge of all forms of violent extremism. Within 1 year, our government has eliminated Boko Haram and bandits commanders faster than ever. As of the last count, over 300 Boko Haram and bandit commanders have been eliminated by our gallant troops in the northeast, northwest, and some other parts of the country. Wonderful people and lovers of the freedom, who is not aware of the menace of the terrorists in the north, even though they have brought them down to the east, trying to use them to infiltrate IPOB. But everybody is aware that Boko Haram, they are not in the prison, they are not being eliminated. Rather, they are being given amnesty, they are being integrated into the society. They return back to the villages that they ransack the villagers. In Borno State today, even though the Nigerian press refused to carry it, they know that Borno State is divided into two. That some parts of Borno State, that the Boko Haram is collecting tax. The taxation goes to Boko Haram. People could not go for fishery. People could not go to their farms. People can't even sleep in their houses. We know that in states like Zamfara State, Kaduna, Katsina, Sokoto, Benue states, how they displace people from their villages. We see them raiding villages with their motorcycles. We see them wielding AK-47 with the rifles on their necks. We see them on the videos. We see them on the TikTok. We see their elders going to visit them. We saw the testimony of the old man going viral, how he was kidnapped and taken to Sambisa forest to become an Arabic teacher. And the man said he was there. Red Cross used to visit Boko Haram in Sambisa forest. And today, Mr. President was boldly telling the world that they have eliminated Boko Haram. Boko Haram that have taken over the villages and the communities in the north. In Niger State, Boko Haram has ransacked people and taken over villages. And Mr. President, also said that they work towards returning peace in the communities in the north. That the displaced people has gone back to their homes. And I want to ask Mr. President, the north is peaceful, all right. Boko Haram is eliminated, despite that they are not giving it the right name because they call it banditry. And he said because of community ethnic crisis, community clashes. Why it is terrorism that is being carried out on the people? And instead of addressing terrorists as terrorists, you oil it and nickname them bandits. And Nigerian media today is going by that name, bandits. But we all know that they are terrorists. If this peace has returned and these persons has gone back to their homes, Mr. President, who are these 3.3 million internally displaced persons that you, Hope Uzodinma, and the senator representing Imo North, Chukwuemeka, I will remember his name, I will mention his name because I will like to remember his name. I'll remember his name, I will mention his name before the end of this program. Who are these 3.5 million that you are sending to the people of Ehimembano, people of 181,300 or about 500 people that you were sending Boko Harams, internally displaced persons of 3.3 million to go and swallow them. Yet, you were boldly telling the world that peace has returned in the north. Mr. President, you also called for, you said you will call the Nigerian youth for our Youth National Conference for 30 days. And I want to ask Mr. President, what happened to 2014 National Confab? That confab it had the delegation of about 500 delegates from different ethnic groups. So many, all the diverse interests were represented in that confab. And the delegates, they made a resolution of about, they made about 600 resolutions, and then also made a report of about 10,335 page report, which they submitted to President Goodluck Jonathan. And he promised to implement all the resolutions reached or deliberated upon on that confab. But even you, Mr. President, knew why that confab, those resolutions were not implemented by Goodluck Jonathan until today. It is swept under the carpet. Now, Mr. President, you are calling Nigerian youths for 1 month national conference. Why that 2014 confab? It took good 5 months for 500 Nigerians to come together to deliberate on both ethnic, religious, and linguistic groups. They deliberate on numerous ethnic differences that is bringing problem to Nigeria. And at the end of 5 months, all the expenses done were waste. And now, Mr. President, you want to invite Nigerian youths for 1 month conference. I wonder what the Nigerian youths are coming to present to you in that conference that they did not present to Nigerian government during EndSARS. Nigerian youths brought their problems to Nigerian government through protests. They were massacred at different locations. They were killed at toll gates. Banks' accounts was frozen. People were imprisoned. The little Hitler, according to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we always address him as the little Hitler. Then he owns River State. Despite he does not, even now, he has not left River State because he does not want Fubara to be. He is ministering at the Federal Capital Territory and he's still governing River State. He massacred Nigerians in Obibo. And Nigerian government, Nigerian police, Nigerian army denied the massacre of Nigerians who brought their problems to our government. Even some people who have taken their own cases against Nigeria to ICP, even though they've won, but has Nigerian government done do what court has asked them to do? Have they done it? Mr. President, you are calling Nigerian youth for conference, national conference. And that thing you want to deliberate with them, you did not hear it from them during past months and bad governance. And today again, Nigerian youth gathered at your domain protesting the fearless protest. And Mr. President is not hearing them. And he cannot address their whims and caprices. Even Mr. President, in your speech today, you did not even address hunger. You did not address EndSARS. You did not address end bad governance. You did not address even the fearless protest. But you are inviting them for national conference. Mr. President, you did not talk about bringing down the price of PMS. You did not talk about job creation. You don't talk about economic reform, but you honored your men who has contributed nothing than supporting a draconian bill. You honor them. We know that you are calling Nigerian youths only to corrupt them just like average Nigerian politician. You are inviting them for 2027 election because that's all you care about since you came to seats, since you came to power. You have started campaigning for 2027. That was why Edo State's election was messed up, because you are after APC overtaking all the states in the zoo. And that was why you sent the number 6 man to go and tell it to the man that knows his onions in Abia State that you are coming. And we are waiting, Mr. President, that have embraced diversity, but Igbo man cannot become a Nigerian president. Yet you have embraced diversity. Well, I won't blame Nigerian youth because definitely they will come to answer your call. They needed posts, some needed to be made thugs, some needed alert in their accounts because there is hunger in the land, there is unemployment. Graduates are in the labor market. Companies are closing down. People are leaving their businesses because their business cannot function. They have no funds to support their businesses. But Mr. President, we go and spend billions inviting Nigerian youths just to come and sit down and learn corruption. Yes, Biafrans have rejected the zoo independence because there is nothing to celebrate about Nigeria. Are you to celebrate about the deaths of the protesters? Are you to celebrate the injustice? Are you to celebrate the selective justice? Are you going to celebrate intimidations? Are you going to celebrate the illegal detention of our great leader? Igbos are going through persecutions in Nigeria today. And that is why we are not participating. And it was not just today alone, but from henceforth, next year and coming years, there will be nothing like Nigeria independence anywhere in the southeast because we are not part of you. Mr. President, the Nigeria in your hands is already decayed. It is not just decaying. The worst or the most corrupt politicians are what we have in Nigeria today as Nigerian leaders. And Biafrans are not interested. All we ask is, Mr. President, release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because it is the executive that is holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today. It is no longer the judiciary. The judiciary has set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free. And other Biafrans that have been set free from different prisons. But the Nigerian executive that controls the judiciary is holding them back. Release Biafrans who committed no crime known to law and remove the Nigerian combined security team from the roads in the southeast. We need to have freedom of movement. Our people are not moving freely. because of the terrorists in Nigerian uniform that are scattered all over the places on our roads. Take them to north where there is insurgency. Now you can no longer actualize destroying Biafra land with the agent provocateur. His work has failed. And never shall any internal displaced person, I am not saying persons, but person, shall be seen anywhere in the southeast. Hope Uzodinma has tried Ruga with the federal government. It didn't work out. They tried the cow colony. It didn't work out. They tried the whichever means has it not used to destroy Igbo land. Now is to bring them to swallow our people. But our people will always say, n'oke anaghị eri ihe onye mụ anya. Viewers and lovers of freedom all over the world, you know that today we are supposed to host Barrister Maxwell Opara on the update of the legal proceedings of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But something came up and the interview did not hold. The interview has been postponed and it will be communicated to our people in due time. Like I said, you know, the BTV crew, you know, some people where they are now, some people are already in the midnight preparing. Some people don't even have up to 2 hours to take their sleep. They're just preparing to meet up for tomorrow, which is still some people's today. So because of that, we choose not to consume our time, because we always come to inform Biafrans and keep enlightening our people, keep rubbing minds together, keep encouraging one another, because Biafra must come. Already we have seen it that we have already overtaken the southeast. Whatever IPOB says goes, and no one goes contrary to our opinion. Yet, we are maintaining peace. We refuse to toe the road to violence. IPOB is a movement organization known for non-violence. So anybody that is killing people, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has said it by himself in his last court outing, that he doesn't know where those animals come from, that if you are killing people and forcing Monday sit at home, trying to use his name to stay relevant, IPOBians know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is IPOB. IPOB is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So definitely Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot be telling IPOBians that they are using him to stay relevant. Ndị agwara amalugo, even when they claimed akpọ ya afa akpọ ya afa. Ọ bụrụ na akpọ gị afa, ịma na ọ gị ka a na. IPOB has been maintaining peaceful movements, and that we shall continue. IPOB adhere to all the rules always order issued out by the DOS, and that is what goes in Biafra land. IPOB did not use guns and bullets to make people not to join the zoo in the celebration or in their sorrowful death of the country that, according to Mr. President, he said it was found by their founding fathers. IPOB and Biafra say no to zoo celebration because zoo is already dead and buried. What they are doing now is just like passing a calabash which can never hold. It can never hold. Thank you to wonderful people of Biafrans for wonderful people of Biafra for joining me tonight and spending this little time with me. I appreciate you so much. I also appreciate all the lovers of freedom, all our supporters. Let's not forget to keep supporting ESN. We did not have time to talk about what is going on in Enugu State. Governor Peter Mba, Governor Hope Udele, Uzodimma, that are bringing down the Fulanis. You see what is going on in Enugu State today? The protests of how all the communities in Enugu State, how the people are being kidnapped day by day. And that is the reason why they fight Eastern Security Network, because they know that it is only IPOB and ESN can protect our land. Let's keep supporting ESN. Let's keep supporting this leadership. And one day, Biafra shall come. I still remain Nwada Jovista Chichi. Thank you and good night.